Welcome, one and all, to the latest episode of Signals from Mars. I am Victor. Joining me is Brad Dahl, Jeremy Weltman, and Ed Ferguson. We are here to do a recap of 2025. We're going to talk about some big metal stories from throughout the year. I've compiled a few different things we're going to talk about, which I think will be interesting to all of us. Edgar Winterson, thank you for joining us in the chat.
Hey, Edgar.
And yeah,
Edgar was correct that I would be loving that Coroner album. You remember he was saying that last time we were together?
Yeah.
He knows his stuff, man. Well, Edgar does. Yeah.
We need to get him on the live stream one of these days.
Come on, Edgar. Join us on Patreon. $2.
I want my $2. I got to find that for a soundbite to add to my board here.
I tried to get a good clean rip of it off the movie and couldn't do it. So, no.
Oh, there's plenty of tools now that will help you wipe away all that other stuff. So, anyway, we're going to kick things off with talking about the five best-selling hard rock and metal albums of 2025. So, I've used... What's that?
Best selling, like somebody actually bought the
yes.
hard copy?
Yes. I'm seeing that outside of the number 2 album. I don't have the units sold for number 2, but I have for the others.
Okay.
Some of these bands we talk about, some of them we don't. Some of these albums I own, and I actually have one of these vinyls in a box still, which I have not opened. So anyway, all right.
Good to have something to look forward to.
So what do you guys want me to do here? Do you want to guess to see what each one of you, one of the albums that have come out this year that you guys think may be on this list? Well, let's do that. Jeremy, what do you think?
Okay. I'm going to say, it's only just come out though, hasn't it? So I'm going to say Testament.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ed?
Well, this isn't my thing, but I know, did Ghost come out with an album this year?
Ghost came out with Skeleton.
It's going to be number 1. I just know it on everything.
Okay. Brad?
Wow. I'm going to go, because they have such crazy fans, Dream Theater.
That's not a bad one either. All right. So at number 5, selling 38,000 units the first week, is Turnstile with Never Enough. Turnstile is a band that we've talked about a little bit. They've started out as being a hardcore band. And this new album, Never Enough, is funny because that's the title of a song by The Cure. And this album is more reminiscent of 80s pop in a lot of places, with a lot of like synthwave and stuff like that, and really only has like 2 or 3 hardcore sounding songs on it.
Isn't it Never Enough LA Guns? Am I thinking about that wrong?
Never Enough. Yeah, that's a song of theirs as well.
Right.
So they've done something that their original fans are probably really upset about.
But the thing is, live, they're supposedly a really good live band, and they appeared on the NPR's Tiny Desk concert series. And all they play is that, hardcore punk type stuff. So
Turnstile,
huh? Yes. Clammy whoever. Goodbye. So anyone trying to shill their wares here, you will not be. Yeah. Would you like those viewers? Yes. Anyway, all right.
Look at this hat here. You can buy this hat here.
Not for much longer.
Ooh, limited edition.
Well,
Get on it, people.
no, not because of that. The company is. I've been waiting 3 weeks to hear back from customer support. So, and in the meantime, I've had another merch provider approach me. So, in the new year, there may be a new merch provider, and there may be new Signals from Mars merch. We'll see.
Ooh, more fun stuff to buy.
Yeah. So, all right, at number 4, Ghost with Skeletor.
There we go.
Good
Selling
job.
At number 4?
Number 4, selling 86,000 units the first week.
To be honest, when Ed said that, I actually thought, well, this is going to be number 1.
Me too.
Yeah, because they are
Everybody says
huge.
it's number 1.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to traverse some territory later on with bands that we don't normally talk about. I'll just leave it there.
That's going to be the rest of the top 5 here. Like,
Not necessarily, because number 3 is that vinyl album that I own, and this came out. Oh, this came out in August actually, because I listened to it in the States. It's Deftones with Private Music that sold 87,000 copies the first week. I know that it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's a band that I thoroughly enjoy and thought were great live.
Quite popular.
Number 2 is a band that I would not rate anywhere near hard rock or metal, but the metal press is behind them.
There we go.
I know what it is.
They headlined one of the nights at Download this year.
Oh.
Sleep Token.
I
Okay.
was going to say Sleep Token if I could say a second band.
Yeah, even in Arcadia, I debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200.
I wonder if those guys have ever been to Arcadia.
Listen, I like a lot of different types of hard rock and metal. Edgar Winterson laughed at me for talking about the Tron soundtrack, the 9 Inch Nails Tron soundtrack. Damn it. I like 9 Inch Nails. I like a lot of different music. I'm not into Sleep Token at all. I just don't understand it. And I know that it's funny because there's been discussion recently with the band Precedent, who's kind of in the same kind of thing. There are a lot of rumors circulating. They're both British bands. Is it Andy Copping is the guy from Download, Jeremy?
Yeah.
They have a lot of money tied into both of these bands. That's my gut feeling, and that's why they're so popular, is because they've got a huge ton of money behind them. The number 1 selling band in the world, or act, is Taylor Swift, okay? Taylor Swift's father owns the biggest trucking company in the U.S., all right, is Swift Logistics.
That's her dad?
That's her dad.
Who knew? The more you know.
Why she's so popular? Because of her music, because she works hard, because of this, because of that. She was born into money. And she's been able to leverage it. I'm not going to knock her because of that. But my gut feeling is Sleep Token, Precedent, all these bands that are now creeping out with the masks, with this, with that, that really sound nothing like metal bands. There are glam bands from the 80s that are more thrash than what Sleep Token is putting out right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sleep Token has a boatload of money behind them to help promote them in these houses. Go ahead, Jeremy.
I was just going to say, I know the stepfather of one of the backing singers, and I'm going to see him tomorrow because I think I mentioned to you that the backing singer Paige, she used to live here in Kingsmead, Northwich, just down the road from me, and so I know her stepfather, and so I'll pass on these good wishes tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'll get a nice bouquet of horse dung in the mail.
Apparently, they have their own merchandise site now just for the backing singers as well.
Oh wow!
Wow. Which band is this?
Sleep
Token.
Token.
Sleep Token. They have backup singers. Oh.
Yeah, they've got 3. Yeah, they've actually got a name, but I forget what the backing singers have got their own name.
Not just numbers.
No,
the rest of the members are numbers. You mentioned it previously because you did bring that up before. I don't know if you mentioned it on air or off air.
Yeah.
But listen, even if with me knocking them, if they can make it, good for them. Just not my thing.
Yeah. I don't like them either.
Again, I'm not going to knock you for liking them. I'm not going to say, oh, don't listen to them, blah, blah, blah. It's my opinion. It doesn't mean that my opinion has to fit everyone's tastes.
I'm just glad people are buying music.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Because we need to keep music alive somehow. People need to play instruments.
At number 1 is a band I think I've posted. Yeah, I've posted stuff of theirs on Patreon. I believe I posted something off of this album. The band is 21 Pilots. The album is Breach. And the first week they sold 200,000 units.
Wow.
So, there you go.
Yeah, it's funny that the only reason I know that band is because, like back around 2008 to 10, when you go into Starbucks, they would have these free iTunes downloads.
Right.
And I would get one every time and check it out. It would always be indie pop acts and folk acts. And one of them was one of those songs. That's the only song I've ever heard by them. I've just kind of known of them because of that. And then, of course, a year or two ago, you told me they were one of the biggest bands in the world.
Yeah.
And I guess they still are, from what you're saying there.
Looks like it.
Good for them. Right.
Yeah. So let's move on to top grossing hard rock and metal tours.
That's where the money is.
25. Okay. Any guesses? Well, let's go in opposite order this time. Brad, who do you think? Name a band that's in here.
Well, let's see. Iron Maiden have been on tour. Yeah, why not? Iron Maiden.
Oh, okay. That was my choice.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry, Jeremy.
I'll have to think of it.
That means you have to pick a U.S. band.
You guys can double down if you want. That's fine. If you guys want to say Iron Maiden, that's cool too.
Well, no, that's all right. We'll think of something else.
Yeah, I've got another one.
Well, go ahead so I can keep thinking.
Let's see if I'm okay.
Ahead,
I guess
mine is going to be AC/DC because I think they were still on tour this year, weren't they?
They were.
They must have made a lot of money out of it. So yeah, AC/DC.
Yeah, all those big stadiums. Not as many shows, but
yeah.
Linda Carl.
Edgar Winterson is head over heels.
Yeah, I kind of get a feeling that he's got like a Belinda Carlisle poster in his bedroom. On the ceiling, perhaps.
Yeah.
Ed, any
Oh, I've got it. I can go easy. Metallica. I know they've been out playing, right?
Yep.
They're always playing somewhere.
Yeah.
So I took the easy way out
here
there.
We go. At number 5, $50 million made on their recently started farewell tour.
Ooh.
Megadeth.
Okay.
Wow. Megadeth in the top 5. Good job, boys.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dave Ellison.
Number 4. having grossed 95.6 million. It is Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, that
crap,
was one
of
I was going to
course.
say.
Number 3, grossing 136.2 million. Only playing 2 shows a week. The
Decent.
M72 World Tour from Metallica.
Oh, wow. That's quite a jump in money between these bands so far.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's pretty interesting.
And the last 2 are pretty similar. There's a considerable jump. But also what I just said, remember what I just said, Metallica made that much playing 2 shows a week. These other bands are playing consistently for the most part. Number 2, from Zero World Tour, 150.6 million, Linkin Park.
Wow.
What? Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's their first tour in years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But good to know everybody showed up for them when they came back.
Yeah.
There's the man.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
There you go.
All right.
But at number 1, Run for Your Lives World Tour, 150.9 million, Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Way to go.
So they made what? There's a $3 million difference there, 150.9 million to 150.6 million. Jeremy, you're the economist.
Yeah. Big gap.
And then to Metallica, 136.2, Guns N' Roses 95.6, and Megadeth 50.
I guess that's why it's so hard to retire, man. If you're making that kind of money playing rock and roll.
Yeah, but this is gross revenue. This will be gross, won't it?
Well, that's right.
Yes,
you got to remember that. It's got you got to pay a lot of bills with that.
A lot of bills, a lot of tax to pay. But listen. They're making these guys are big acts. They're making money out of it. And good luck to them.
that's a good problem to have. I wouldn't mind making that much money and having to pay taxes on it. Because I mean, even with Maiden, you've got this. Well, I was going to say the 6 members of the band.
What would be interesting to know though is that split 6 ways, or is there a tiered?
Listen,
got to be tiered.
Yeah. Well, Steve Harris must get more, surely.
Before you cut me off, think of this. Think of this, Brad. You cut me off. Think of this. Is Maiden 6 members or 7 members? How much money is Nico still making?
Yeah.
How much money?
Yeah.
Is Steve Dawson making? I think that's his name, right? Steve Dawson, the drummer?
Yeah, it's Dawson.
Oh.
Isn't it? Yeah.
It's Dawson. It's something Dawson. It's Steve or Sean Dawson, one or the other.
Steve Dawson, and that's Saxon.
Anyway, there's those 7. There's their managers. Plus, there's the entire road crew. So,
plus they have to pay the support acts.
There you go. Okay,
they have to pay the support acts as well, don't they? I mean, they've got to pay them something, even if it's a small amount.
Or not. They might be buying onto the tour.
Yeah, it's possible, isn't it?
That's another thing to consider.
Yeah, that's the tour you'd want to pay to open up.
Yeah, you got to sell a bit of merch.
It's a big audience. Yeah.
Yeah. And, well, I guess next year they're going to have Megadeth and Anthrax on the tour.
Except I went to see the Iron Maiden tour, and I can't remember the Raven Age now. Who was supporting?
Even the Raven Age, they're on there because it's Steve Harris's son.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, the last Raven Age is his. I forget which other band they had, which was Bruce's son. They've had Lauren Harris out, which Richie Faulkner was in the band at the time. So I'm sure they're getting those bands at a discount. And possibly the only members of those bands that are making money are the kids. that could be quite possible as well. It could be that the rest of the members of the band aren't really getting a whole lot. I would think that Maiden has probably worked something out, and this is me talking out of my ass, really not knowing what I'm talking about. But I'm assuming that Simon Dawson isn't making as much as the rest of the members. I'm assuming that Nico is getting a cut. I don't know if he's making as much as Simon. I don't know, or it could be the other way around. Maybe Nico is still making more than Simon because he's the name, because Nico's out doing all the signings of the books.
Yeah, I guess there's a few ways they could work this. You can either be a hired hand, getting paid a certain amount of money for each concert or or on an annual retainer. The other thing is whether you've actually got shares in the company. I mean, Iron Maiden will be a company in which probably Steve Harris has got the majority share ownership in. And so there's all that as well. So he might earn a salary from it that's equal to the rest of the band, but he might also earn a return on his shares.
Right. That's a good point.
Because I think Judas Priest are set up like that, aren't they? Because that's why KK Downing was like a part of the band still, even when he left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if he ever comes back, he's going to be an employee.
Yeah.
So, all right. Any shockers there with that top five?
No,
not really.
Well, Linkin Park, maybe. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
I think with Linkin Park, again, they've been away for a while. You also have to think of the fact that even though they are, within the genre, they've had a lot of pop success as well. They've had a lot of mainstream crossover. So, and they're doing this in smaller arenas. I mean, they're not playing stadiums like Maiden and Metallica are, or even Guns N' Roses. They're playing, your Pepsi Centers and Madison Square Garden and that.
That's still a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not knocking it.
We're also
getting the other thing too. I don't know who else was on the bills for all of these shows. I mean, I don't know if Linkin Park was the only real band on that tour. You know what I mean? Real name on there.
Yeah, but they're going to be the selling point for people.
Well, yeah. I mean,
but even Maiden, we're talking about Megadeth and Anthrax opening up for them, but the majority of the people there are going to be for Maiden. Metallica's been playing with Pantera, and they've been playing with Ice Nine Kills and Mammoth and Black. Was it Black? No, not Black Label. There's a fourth band that they've had going with them for quite some time as well, and I don't remember who, but they're also doing shows in the parking lot in New York. Or in New Jersey actually, they had Overkill play one day, and they had Prong play the other day in the second night in the parking lot. So they're splitting money between all these bands, but they're still the main draw.
Yeah. It's not like those other bands are putting extra butts in the seats,
Right.
It's like, well, I wasn't going to go see Maiden, but when I found out Overkill was going to be in the parking lot, I'm there.
I'm there, yeah. Well, who knows?
I think too that we're getting close to that point to where the people that were kids, like in high school in the 90s and going into college, listening to those new and alt metal bands.
Mm-hmm.
And then, there was, then you also had post grunge and a lot of pop punk bands that came out, leading up to 2000. A lot of those people are getting to that age. They're going to start, they're getting into their 40s now. Mm. They're going to start reminiscing back on the music they grew up with. And, that's what we've seen. Me being a Gen Xer, that's what I've been seeing with a lot of my metal bands is, it all kind of died away there for a while. And then as I got into my 40s, things luckily it wasn't us just having to go back and reminisce, but these bands went out and went to a new level with their music writing and production and just, they're still jamming, but they're taking advantage, of course, of the nostalgia. And which we all benefit from that. We all love it. And so, yeah, the kids that were, 8 to 10 years younger than me, I think we're going to start seeing a lot of their bands.
Yeah.
A lot more again, like Linkin Park and whoever is still around to do that.
Right. We're seeing that already with the festivals, where a lot of the festivals are starting to slowly switch over to bands that were popular in the 90s. Because a lot of the bands that were big in the 80s, like you're saying, have had the run for the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
And what's happened is that those people are getting older, can't tour anymore. And members are dropping off. And
well, not just members, but your audience too. I've had so many people my age die in the last few years. It's like they almost don't, they're losing their audience as well a lot sooner than you might expect. But it's a trip, man.
Yeah, and here's the other thing too, is how many of these bands are going out and just playing the same songs over and over again.
Yeah,
they haven't switched their set list up in those last 15 to 20 years. So also, if people aren't dying off, they're killing their audience, because their audience is saying, yeah, that's the same set list I've been seeing for the last 10 tours, so I'm not going this time around.
Yeah.
I'm going to argue that the average fan, we're different kind of fans, the four of us, but the average fan, I think, wants to hear those songs over and over again.
You think?
I don't know. I don't have any proof to back that up, but other than when you go to a show and you see that the people go just nuts over songs that they like, you could care less to hear again because they've heard it so much. It's like, oh God, I got to hear this one again. And then everybody goes nuts. So,
I mean, I've been to Europe many times, and it's the final countdown at the end, the encore. Everyone is there for that song.
Yep, perfect example there. Thanks, Jeremy.
Does Saxon switch their set list up from tour to tour?
They change some songs around. They obviously play always 3 songs off the new album. There's always a new album coming out. They'll play a few new ones. I love to hear the new ones, and I love to hear, but they have a certain amount of songs they have to play. Like any of these major bands, these legacy bands that we call, they all have to play those hits. And so Wheels of Steel, 747, Princess of the Night, those are the songs that are always in the set, really.
Yeah, I'm going to say, since I've done a few Saxon tours where I've seen 5-6 shows on one tour, that now with the new guitar player with Tatler in there, he doesn't have quite the catalog under his fingers as the other guys did. And, but back before him, you would see a totally, it kind of start off with the same few songs, and then it would just drift from there. Biff would just start calling songs out and asking the crowd what they want to hear. And even that last tour that I went and saw them on, after Tats had joined the band, they only had a couple of songs that weren't in the normal set. We saw them play, 4 shows in Texas. And the set was not exactly the same every night. There was always 1 or 2 different songs. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So let me just read off the last show that Judas Priest did back in October.
They're not changing their set at all on a tour.
Not during the tour, but tour to
That's
tour.
what I mean, not during. But they'll mix it up for the next one.
Yeah. But they played All Guns Blazing, Hell Patrol, You've Got Another Thing Coming, Freewheel Burning, Breaking the Law, A Touch of Evil, Nightcrawler, Solar Angels, Gates of Hell, The Hellion, Electric Eye, Giants in the Sky, Painkiller, Hellbent for Leather, and Living After Midnight.
I'd say that more than half of those songs are songs you're not normally going to hear them play.
You're not going to normally hear them play.
Yeah, we could throw a third negative in there and really make it funny.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to that list, it's like, well, how many of those are like, you're going to hear those on a Judas Priest set?
Yeah, you've got another thing coming, which they haven't played.
Definitely. They have to play that.
Well, I've seen them where they haven't played it. Oh,
on purpose?
Yeah. And I've also seen them when they've done a 15-minute rendition of the song.
Oh, God, please no.
Yeah.
Whoa, yeah. Sorry.
You record that?
You know, it's when I was talking to yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, was I in the right key?
Close.
You got the job.
To your point. All right. So I
got to say one other thing. I was talking to Nigel and not Graham. Well, anyway, I was talking to a couple of boys in Saxon once. And I said, have you guys ever done a show that you didn't play Wheels of Steel? And they said, yeah. And I said, well, what the hell happened? I mean, how did that go? Did you guys get off stage and go, lads, we didn't play Wheels of Steel? How did that happen? I mean, there's no way since that album came out that they could do a show without playing that song. But
no,
they claim they did. And I thought, I don't know.
Well, with this set list, it's Painkiller heavy because of the anniversary.
Well, and they're going to play Painkiller every show now. You know, that's one that's going to be in the set.
The one that I'm interested in is they did Giants in the Sky off of the latest album.
You'll never hear that song played live again after this tour, and I
don't know because they've made that song all about a salute to people that have passed away, where they show Ozzy, they show Dio, they show
yeah, well, I think it'd be way cool if that song became a regular in the set, because I keep thinking that every time a band comes out with an album that has like a really good song on there, and they play it live, and you're like, man, that was really cool, and it'd be nice if if it became a regular part of their set, but you don't see that very often.
Yeah, because they didn't play anything off of Firepower, for example.
Yeah,
I think one of the things we have to remember with some of these bands is that they've released so many albums now. I mean, they're still releasing albums. As we know, Judas Priest just released an album. Iron Maiden just released an album. So they're always going to have this problem of choosing what to play live. They know there's a certain amount of songs they have to play that are the old songs, because there's always the old guys, the old ladies who are going to the shows who want to hear all those hits, and they can only put in a certain amount of new stuff without it being boring to the average. Like Brad just said, the average person wants to hear all that legacy stuff, and it's very difficult. The more and more albums they've got, it's easier for Guns N' Roses because they haven't actually released many albums.
Yeah, that's right.
So
they don't have any choice. They have to play those.
But the other thing is with Guns N' Roses, they play for 3 hours, whereas the others don't. So in that 3 hours, they could play all the hits. They can also bung in a load of old tunes. They could do a few covers. They can have a few solos, and it's easy for them.
Right. Yeah. So just to compare the Iron Maiden set list. So they did Murders in the Rue Morgue, Wrathchild, Killers, Phantom of the Opera, Number of the Beast, The Clairvoyant, Power Slave.
So Number of the Beast, that's the only song that I would say is you're going to hear pretty much every time you're going to see Iron Maiden. All the rest of those aren't.
Number of the Beast, they haven't been. This is the first tour that they brought that song back in several tours.
Really?
Wow.
I could have sworn they played it in the last round too.
Surprising.
I could be wrong. 2 Minutes to Midnight, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, Run to the Hills.
Yeah, that's got to be in there.
Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, The Trooper.
Trooper's got to be in
My
there.
Name.
Yeah, that
Hallowed Be Thy Name. This is the first time they've played this on tour in like 4 tours. They had,
they found that, but that was every tour before that. Ever since that album came out, that was the last song.
Iron Maiden,
That's got to be
there. Fear of the Dark, and Wasted Years.
Wasted Years.
So Peace of Mind only gets 1 tune.
Yeah,
it's kind of sad.
But I would say that most of those songs are songs you're not going to hear every time you go see them. That's actually a really good set list.
Right.
Maybe I should.
Wasn't this the one as well where the drummer was learning stuff for this tour as well?
Yeah, but they claim that he learned stuff really quickly. That's what Bruce said.
Yeah.
Fear is the Key. Yeah, I used to love that song when it first came out. Listened to that album not that long ago, and I was like, wow, I used to love this back in 92. All right. So top 5 hard rock and metal news stories of 2025. And I purposely did not include any deaths in this. So 5 bands that you guys think will be in this top 5. Ed?
For headline, for like headline news?
Yeah, the most talked about, the 5 most talked about stories in 2025.
Again, I'm going to take the easy route and say Arch Enemy and the vocalist change there.
Wow,
I think that's a pretty big story amongst all those fans. Yeah.
Okay, Brad, you?
I'm going to take the easy one, the low-hanging fruit, Black Sabbath.
Okay. Jeremy?
I'm going to go for a wild card, and I'm going to say the loudmouth who can't sing, Dave Lee Roth.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Definitely. He got a lot of press.
All right. Number 5. Sleep Token reaching number 1 on the Billboard 200.
Okay, moving on to number 4.
Yeah.
Number 4. Black Sabbath, Back to the Beginning, final show narrative becomes central to the 2025 metal discourse. Okay. Number 3. Kiss, What's Next? Continues. Avatar's projects talk.
Wow. Okay.
Number 2. Ghost hits number 1 on the Billboard 200 with Skeleton.
Okay.
And the number 1 discussed news piece of the year is Megadeth's announcement to retire, final album, and farewell tour plans.
You would have think I would have thought of that one. I forgot.
So
yeah, that's probably the biggest story right there for sure. That makes sense.
I'm surprised the Back to the Beginning didn't get more.
Yeah, you think that would have been number 1.
You know, it was number 4. I would have pinned that as being number 1, given all of the stuff that surrounded it, all of the unique combinations, the bands that covered Black Sabbath and everything. Did Ozzy's death overshadow it? And that's why, we didn't carry on about it.
I don't know about that, but yeah, I think that fed into it actually.
Yeah, I don't know, because Ozzy died 2 weeks later. You know, so if there was like a groundswell about Back to the Beginning and maybe having some type of like DVD coming out and stuff like that, once Ozzy died, that kind of went away because the focus was Ozzy. The Kiss Avatar talk and stuff. Yeah, I did a whole thing the last week with Hooligan Nation about that. So yeah, there's people still talking about that, especially since they the whole landlocked cruise thing.
Yeah, we should talk about that sometime, man. Have you watched stuff from that? I don't want to get off on a tangent, but
Well, we could talk about that 1 second, because the other two things that that were here were the number one albums by Sleep Token and Ghost. Ghost to me wasn't a surprise because they've charted fairly high last few tours. Sleep Token to me, again, a surprise, but maybe that shows I'm out of touch. Who knows? The Megadeth retirement, to me personally, to quote Bruce Dickinson, somewhere in time, deja vu, feels like we've been here before. They already had a final tour, an album when they released The World Needs a Hero. Then The System Has Failed was supposed to be a solo album, and then it ended up becoming a Megadeth album, and they haven't gone away since. This final tour is going to last 1,000,000 years, apparently, because we've already discussed how much money these bands are making out there on tour. So as shocking as it is, as neat as the 3 songs have been that they've released, I chalk this up as I'll believe it when I see it. Because I can see Dave in 3 or 4 years say, you know what, we're having fun on tour. This is the greatest lineup ever. I thought I was going to hang it up, but we're just having way too much fun on tour. We're going to continue.
Way too much money.
We're making way too much money. My wife has bought too much expensive shit for our ranch. We're doing
it for the fans, because the fans want to pay us to do this.
Yeah, we're doing it for the fans because I have 20 new horses on my ranch. And somebody's got to pay for them. So the Megadeth announcement. The Megadeth announcement, did it surprise anybody?
Yeah, I think I was a little bit surprised when it happened. Yeah,
me too.
Do you think he'll hold up to the retirement?
It depends what plans he's got. He hasn't really. Did he say what he was going to do when he actually retires and finishes it?
All they've said is final album, and that this final tour will be several years long.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, obviously he's just looking ahead to playing live and getting it done, and whether he's got any thoughts afterwards, I don't know, but difficult to say, really. I mean, how old is he now?
It's in his 60s.
Early 60s.
I think he's a little bit, maybe
but he could be late 60s by the time he finishes it, and whether he feels that, it's quite a fast-paced music, isn't it? So we're not talking about playing sort of laid-back blues on tour and, doing a Lynyrd Skynyrd.
That's just it right there. If he were to continue on after all of this, his musical style would have to change, because he's getting to where he can't physically do it.
Yeah.
And
he's 64.
And I get it, man. Like I've so far, like that last album, that song "We'll Be Back," one of their fastest tunes that they've made. And also not just, fast one note, but it's got some, galloping fast riffs. I can play that, but it hurts like hell by the time that I'm done. And I'm just 55. And if he's been saying that his hands started failing on him a bit. And when that happens, you still got some life in you, I can tell. But some of those kinds of songs are going to get to where he just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Now he may be able to do it like as a one-off, but to try to do a whole show of that stuff. So he would end up having to go back playing all the stuff that I don't like as a full show almost. Maybe putting in Holy Wars. Holy Wars, though, man, that'll tear your wrist up too, trying to get through that at full speed. Yeah, I almost think with some of these thrash metal guys at this age, even if they were planning to fool you and come back, their bodies aren't going to let them, I don't think.
Yeah.
So I think now Mustaine, he's going to be able to make money till the day he's gone, for sure. But maybe he can do some more stuff like the Super Collider finally, but do it, apart from his thrash metal band. Do some of the rock stuff that he's always trying to kind of push into Megadeth and gets a lot of pushback. This when he's to the point where he can't play the fast stuff anymore, maybe he can go do that in his retirement. Because those songs like Super Collider, that's a really dang good song by itself. Breadline, really great song by itself,
Yeah. Or he might sort of write with other people as well. That's the other thing. Or
exactly.
do something.
They could all have fun doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Have you heard any of the 3 new songs, Ed, or are you waiting for the entire album?
Yeah, okay. So Decibel Geek guys, you got me again. I'm listening to their new show, and they're talking about Megadeth. And I didn't pay attention to the fact that they started playing a song from the new album at the end of their conversation about Dave. And about 30 seconds later, I realized I was listening to the new Megadeth. And so I was like, oh, well, I'll just finish it. And it was like it was a magical experience, what I heard. I'm not too sure what song it was, but it was some of the finest guitar solo work that I've heard yet. Just from like the 30-second clip they played. I'm so excited to hear Timu on this album, because even just when I hear him play little pieces, it's just I get excited to hear more. That guy is just amazing. And after Megadeth is gone, man, Timu, hopefully he can carry some of that on himself. I mean, as good as he is, that guy should be able to have a full-time career the rest of his life.
Yeah. Well, once you're in a band like Megadeth,
that gave
the doors are going to be open.
That gave him the audience there he needs.
Your Super Collider analogy is funny. I don't know if you listened to the latest episode of the VMR podcast.
I did, yeah, today.
You did listen to it or no?
Today I did, yeah.
Okay, so I mentioned something along those lines where
yes, you did.
I think the second single that they've released, it isn't as laid back as Super Collider, but it's more of a straight ahead hard rock song. The third song, which was released today, I think is kind of in between both songs.
Yeah, and that's kind of par for the course with him now. Every album is kind of a mix of all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I think I think your analogy is spot on. I think he's the biggest reason for putting Megadeth away is for him to do something a little different. And I didn't, I'm not a fan of Risk, but I think Super Collider has some really cool stuff on it. And I think that the title track is, for what it's worth, I think it's a good song. I think that similar to any of these bands who have switched up their styles, and listen, Metallica with Load, Megadeth with Risk, or Super Collider, or stuff like that, or even Saint Anger, they're tame in comparison to what Bring Me the Horizon and Between the Buried and Me have done with, coming out with full guttural vocals and now doing stuff that's like full on pop.
Yeah.
At least Metallica and Megadeth have still stayed within the rock realm.
That's right.
With what they've done. And I understand why a lot of people don't like Load, for example, but you take it out of their catalog and see it as a snapshot or a piece of work from a specific point of time. And I think you interpret it a little differently than putting it up against Master of Puppets and Injustice for All and Ride the Lightning and all that stuff. So
I agree with you. Yeah, I'll take the Black Album any day over a lot of these records I'm hearing now where they just completely switch the music to something. It's almost offensive to me when I hear it. It makes me mad a little bit. But,
no, I hear you. All right, so the final piece to this is the biggest hard rock and metal deaths of the year. There are 5 here. I think two of these are obvious, and I think a third one, I think you guys might get, but I don't know if you guys will get more than 3 out of these 5. So Edgar has already said Ozzy, so we'll remove Ozzy off of the table.
Ozzy's off the board.
Yeah. Brad, anyone else?
Oh, God. I know I need to pay better attention to people dying. I'm totally stumped right now, although I know some big names have passed on this year.
Ed?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what other metal musicians besides Ace and Ozzy.
Oh, yeah,
lost this
Ace.
year.
Oh,
I just named Ace.
there we go.
There
You got Ace.
Well, I thought he was. I thought he was the
yeah.
given, so we weren't choosing those two.
Ace was the big one. Yeah.
Jeremy, any others?
Yeah, John Sykes.
Les Pink. No,
Was it?
Yeah,
was
Les
that
Pink.
this year?
John
John
Sykes was
Sykes
January.
died
Yeah,
in
John Sykes.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
December
That's
of 2024.
Oh, was he? Right. Okay.
I had to check.
All right. Okay. All right. So
'Cause
I'll have another guess.
Why hasn't this shown up? Okay. Another guess.
I will go Les Binks.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 5 is Thomas Lindbergh, singer of At the Gates.
Yeah.
Huge influence on, especially he was part of the reason for the Gothenburg sound out of Sweden. A big influence on melodic death metal. Number 4, Rick Derringer.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
So I was surprised you guys mentioned Les Binks, but Rick Derringer as Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo is huge.
Yeah.
Number 3, Brent Hinds, Mastodon.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ace Frehley, number 2, and Ozzy Osbourne, number 1.
Yeah.
There's been so many, in the last 5 to 10 years that it's kind of hard to remember when they've gone. Except for just remembering that people like Dio and Lemmy have been, a long time now. But
I'm impressed. Brent Hinds made above Rick Derringer. I mean, you ask the average person on the street who is Brent Hinds, they'd be like, who? Yeah, but Rick Derringer. I'd say a lot of people, average people, have heard of Rick Derringer.
I don't know that they know Rick Derringer by name so much as by song.
Yeah,
and it's possible.
Well, okay, well, we could go that way. Let's play Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo and then play what's the biggest Mastodon song? What do they have a big song? What's their biggest song? And why am I not playing it on Yard Metal if they have a big song? Come on.
No, I mean I like a lot of their catalog. Probably their
you like a lot of it. But I'm just saying if you're going to play a Mastodon song for somebody walking down the street and say, "Hey, you know these guys, right?"
Yeah,
what song would that be?
They've always been an underground band, so
So I'm impressed that he got.
I'll give you this. Is Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo a bigger song than Hulk Hogan's theme song?
Did Mastodon do that?
Rick Derringer did it.
I know. Yeah. I'm going to say yeah.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, wow. I think
Edgar Winterson is saying, at least we forget Derringer played in my dad's band. He did play in Edgar Winter's band.
Yeah, he played in the Edgar Winter group. And he also played in White Trash. He played in that. And then they toured. Yeah. Rick Derringer's, he's done so many things.
Did he play with Bowie as well?
That I don't know. That doesn't ring a bell. But I'll do some research on that, kids.
Has there been?
I didn't know Edgar Winter had a kid.
Has there been another year where you mentioned Dio and Peter Steele of Typo Negative died fairly close to one another.
Mm.
Having said that, has there been another year where two artists as influential as Ace and Ozzy that they've gone?
No.
Yes.
Nope.
I'm thinking possibly John Bonham and Bon Scott.
Bon Scott.
Oh, wow. Great.
Yeah.
Great. Remember.
Right.
Yeah, because I remember that one when I was a kid at school.
Yeah.
Another reason why Rick Derringer's on this list, because in 2001 he released the album Doing Business As, and the band that he was a part of, it was a three-piece. It was Derringer, Bogert,
Carmine.
and Carmine Apiece.
Okay, Edgar, you still there? The first time I saw Edgar Winter, your dad, was in Whitefish, Montana, at a Mexican food restaurant. It was awesome, actually. And Carmine was playing drums, and this guy John Duva was playing guitar, and they were incredible. There was no bass player. It was an abomination from that standpoint, but musically it was just brilliant. And yeah, I mean, two legends on the stage of three-piece. Oh man, Edgar Winter.
Johnny Winter used to be. Was he his brother?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw Edgar Winter. It was right after Johnny. It was the weekend that Johnny died, like a couple of days after. He was doing a show in Erta, Utah, of all places, and Pat Travers was on the bill with him, and Pat Travers came out at the end, and they played a couple of Johnny Winter songs, a tribute to Johnny. Yeah, one off. It was totally cool. But Edgar Winter's guitar player is just incredible. What's his name? Oh crap! See, that's the problem when you get old. You can't remember things.
I would have been impressed if Pat Travers would have brought out Nico McBrain.
Those guys played together like a couple of weeks ago in Florida.
Yeah, because
it was Pat Travers playing. They got Nico up there.
Was in, his band before.
Yeah. Pat Travers still damn good, man.
So here's
boom, out goes the lights.
There you go. Here's one Rick Derringer tidbit that I always use to rile up Vinnie Vincent fans when they ask what the best Vinnie Vincent solo is on Lick It Up. I always say Exciter, because Rick Derringer played the solo, and you see people start to answer, Vinnie didn't play on that one. I said, that's why it's the best Vinnie Vincent solo on the album.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh,
yeah. Rick was a fantastic guitar player, great singer too.
Yeah.
I never got to see Rick.
Ozzy and Ace, we had a whole remembrance. Ozzy, I was away. But yeah, we are saying slowly but surely, we're saying goodbye to the people that helped form the soundtrack of our lives. Brent Hinds of Mastodon was much younger than the rest of them. I will say that it is a band that I've listened to a lot, and I have a lot of their vinyl behind me. Again, I know it's not for everybody, Brad. So if you ask the average person walking down the street, yes, they're probably not going to name a Mastodon song.
Maybe not even heard of the band.
Maybe not even.
I like them too. I do play quite a few of their songs on the Yard Metal. So I've seen them once, and they were good. You know?
I got to see them as well. Middle of the day, actually.
Yeah. I saw them. They were warming up for Death Clock, and I thought, okay, you're basically warming up for a cartoon. Yeah.
That's who I would like to see is Death Clock.
Hey, they're going on tour next year, Ed, and
I heard that,
I don't know. I got to check and see if there's anything coming near you. If so, we're going. I'm coming. We're going. I'm getting you on the guest list.
Yeah, if Death Clock came here, I would definitely go to that. I couldn't miss that. That'd be fun.
But it is an experience. I mean, because you're basically, the band is, you don't see the band. They're all backlit by the screen. It's basically you're watching cartoons with music. With music supporting it, and then the last song they put the lights on the band so you can see them.
Okay, that's cool.
They play their asses off, that's for sure. I mean,
they got good talent. I mean, they're a seriously good death metal band.
Yep.
Cool. So, any parting words? Anything that you guys think should have been mentioned that stood out to you guys from 2025? Ed,
I do. One of my favorite things this year was seeing Queen Doro doing that Winter Dreams video with Udo.
Okay.
You remember that? Yeah. It was early in the year, so we probably started to forget about it.
That actually was really good.
That moved me.
One of my least favorite Accept songs, and they did a nice job.
Yeah. Remember that one, everybody, to go visit again.
Okay.
That video.
Okay. Brad, for you?
Wow, I don't know. It was a great year. Music, a lot of great music. I've got my list of albums from 2025 that I'm trying to still pare down to 10, and I'm looking forward to talking about those in a few weeks.
Yep.
Stay tuned for that. But yeah, I didn't get out much this year, unfortunately, so I didn't see a lot of concerts or anything. But I don't know. I think musically, it's been a great year. A lot of great new music has come out. So
cool.
I agree.
Yeah, and I do have to say this, that watching the live stream of Back to the Beginning, that's something that will live in my memory forever, because getting to chat with this guy right here during the whole thing, and then Jeremy right here getting to chat, it was cool, man. We're down there.
It was fun.
We're down there chatting with each other during the show, and of course I had my brother, CEO Dave, chiming in. It was like a shared experience without actually being with other people. I guess what could be more 2025 than that. And my favorite part of the whole thing was right before Ozzy came on. Jeremy said, "That's it, I'm going to bed." I've had enough. I'm going to bed. This is after he was there from the first note of the whole thing, and I'm like, "What? You're not going to bed?" Yeah, that was a good one. Good one. Well played. So that was just an incredible experience, being able to virtually experience that with some of the coolest people. Some of the coolest people on here. I know Victor was busy, unfortunately, but he was also in the chat wanting to know what was going on with the thing. You were doing basketball stuff, I believe.
Yeah, basketball camp.
Yeah,
and it was funny. 2 days later, one of the organizers of the camp said, "Have you been able to check out any of the Back to the Beginning stuff?" I'm like, "I've been here with you the whole time. When am I checking anything out?" I go, "Today's the end of where you could watch the entire live stream." Yeah. And I remember him saying, "Well, there are clips up on YouTube." I said, "Yeah, I've checked out some of those clips, but the sound is nowhere near as good as what you're seeing from the pieces that they were releasing." I mean, there was like the Ultimate Sin. I saw it, and it was from somebody in the crowd, and it could have been like 4 million miles away because the sound was just terrible. Yeah. Then they released a clip from the soundboard, I think it was, and it sounded great. So
there was.
I agree, Brad. Though,
even though it was a 2-hour delay, it was still, you felt like it was happening right then, and we were all experiencing. Us three anyway, were experiencing it at the same time. Yeah, and there was just something really cool about that.
So, especially now, because, or for me, it's been extremely helpful because I've lost so many of my music buddies. They're gone.
Hmm.
And so having you guys to watch, I remember you watching Kiss too when
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
watching that last concert, and that was fun. And Mike Jones was sending me pictures from the concert that
Yep.
he had gone to a
Yep.
couple weeks before that, and just being able to talk to all of you guys about music throughout the year. It's been one of the most therapeutic and healing things for me after all the really good friends that I've lost to death in the last couple of years, especially. All the guys that I would be texting, I've got one buddy left, and I told you last show I made a new metalhead friend.
Yeah.
So that's helping too. But having you guys to talk to has been pretty awesome. Thanks for having me around and listening to me gab about all of this stuff myself.
Oh, it's great to have you around, Ed, because you provide us with a great perspective of things where a lot of times we miss out on things. And I mentioned it during today's Patreon episode where there will be something that I'll be listening to, but I'm not listening to it in the same fashion that you are. And there are times where you'll say, you really need to go back and check this out because of this. And it actually gives me a reason to go back, and you're making what I do a lot easier in this. That, I mean, a lot of the
glad to hear it.
Interviews that I've done are thanks to things that you've either brought to my attention or said, hey, go back and check this one out again, or stuff like that. And it's great to have all of you guys on board. I wish I could have been there live for the Sabbath show, but is what it is. Jeremy, what has been one 2025 thing that you want to mention?
Well, I could echo everything the guys have just said, really. I mean, Sabbath and talking with you guys on this, but the Sabbath thing sort of reminds me that I just looked down at the bands that I've seen this year, and they're all legacy bands. They're all bands that I never thought at my age now I'd still be watching. I went to see Magnum in January. I went to see Michael Schenker in May. I saw Iron Maiden in June. I saw Wasp. I saw Saxon. But above all, the one moment for me is to tell you about, I went to see Uriah Heep in Manchester. Mick Box, who's 80 years old, is still doing it. And he's still doing exactly what he did 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. You name it, keep going back the decades. And to see a band like that, still a genuine band playing live, playing all that sort of folky, proggy rock music, the old-fashioned rock music with a proper organist on stage, playing the Hammond organ and those old great tracks that they've played, Gypsy and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, for me that was a big highlight, because although the Black Sabbath gig was obviously the highlight, I guess, of the year, seeing a band live like Uriah Heep, you can't beat it. And long may they continue. They won't be going forever. They might only go for another couple of years or so. Who knows? But we've just got to cherish the music that we see. Go and see it live. Listen to it on records, on CDs, and just enjoy it. And listen to all the new stuff, because eventually, these bands are going to die. They're gonna move on. We'll still have the music, but we can go and see new bands.
Yeah, absolutely. What can I add to this that you guys haven't said? I mean, I think we've covered all bases. I think what Ed said is really important to me as well. Talking to you guys is great, especially after real crappy weeks. You guys know more than the average listener, because I blab about a lot of it on the Patreon show, maybe sometimes too much. And I'm sorry if I bring down the mood by doing that, but sometimes I just got to let that stuff out. It's been a kick for me watching my kids' music grow. sitting in the car with them and having them, where I'll say, you guys are never going to guess what band this is. And seeing them say, oh, this is easy. It's so-and-so. I'm like, damn, all right, cool. Or I had a kid that I coached the last few years where I saw on Instagram on a note, he posted that he was listening to Pink Floyd.
Wow.
And I said,
Yeah.
I said to him, I go, what are you doing listening to Pink Floyd? And he goes, we have more bands in common that you think. And I said, well, all right. I like hearing that. So that's cool.
Yeah, it is.
I hope that everyone that listens to this or watches it, I hope that this show has helped you guys out through the ups and downs of the year. There's always some great new music to be found. We try to do our best here to bring that stuff to you. Sometimes you're going to agree, sometimes you're not going to agree, but I think that we do a solid job with, bringing stuff to people's attention. I do appreciate all you guys. And honestly, if the patrons weren't around and yeah, I get it. People could say, well, they're your friends because they're on Patreon. The show would not be around if you follow the history of the show had this group of not built up. I know that a lot of people have come over from what I was doing with Mark, with his show. Whether I do anything with Mark or not going forward is up in the air. I haven't heard back from him regarding that. But I think that we've had people come and go, but the nucleus has still been here. There's still patrons that I think are good friends of the show still, and good friends to all of us who don't have the time to join us like maybe they once did, which is fine. I mentioned it today. I wish there was more interaction like there was a few years ago, but I'm good with what we have. If we get more, that's awesome. If not, I think we've got a good thing going. So I do want to thank the three of you for being here tonight. I want to thank Edgar for providing banter all the time when we are doing the show live or even when it is recorded. And yeah, we've got, I think, 2 more shows left this year. I've planned it out, and we've already got a guest lined up, which will be the first show next year. Next month we will have a recap of December releases, and we will finally do the 2025 album list. Look at that. Wow.
I saw your number 1 there.
Oh, damn.
Kansas didn't release anything.
Tokyo Blade? Yeah, Kansas.
Kansas.
Have you listened?
I've actually seen Kansas live. How about that? Who here can say that?
You can say what?
That you've seen Kansas live?
No.
I've seen it on the map.
I've been in Kansas.
Well,
So
I'm
I've seen-
proud of
yeah.
you, Brad.
Yeah, my first concert was Blue Oyster Cult, Kansas, and Ted Nugent. So
There you go.
yeah, little did I know that Kansas would go on to become the best American rock band in the history of rock.
Of all time. All right. On that note, we will bid you guys farewell. Thank you once again for joining us tonight. We will see you next time right here on Signals Mars. See you, folks.
Thank you for watching the Signals from Mars live stream. You can watch the show live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, or check out replays on YouTube. Go to signalsfrommars.com for more information. This concludes our show.
All right. Cool episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. I guess Jeremy really did need to go to bed.
But
That's
Jeremy
late.
usually,
Yeah, this is kind of late for him, isn't it?
yeah. Well, it's latest.
And you too. But
Yeah.
It's still we actually still have daylight here.
Well, yeah, it's what, 320 there? 325?
4:24.
424. Okay.
Yeah. The sun will be going down soon.
mm-hmm.
But the sun will come out tomorrow.
Probably.
It has
Good.
been rainy as hell here.
Yeah. It's been stormy here today too. A little bit of snow and some rain. Not super. I mean, it feels really cold, but it's not. We need snow. I'm looking at the ski run closest to my house, and there's no snow on it. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Ski resort opened up here for 4 days and closed down.
Wow.
But we're too close to the ocean. That's the problem. There's too much humidity and wind. It's been windy as hell.
Yeah.
It's been raining like a motherfucker all day today. It has been ridiculous how it's raining, how it's been raining. It's funny because they during the show they came to my door and I opened the door up and it was pouring, and the people that showed up at my door, they have a sheetrock company. Is basically they make sheetrock, and it's an American company.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It was funny because as they're talking to me and giving this stuff to me, I forget if I mentioned it during the show or not. I'm thinking, what are they doing? And as soon as my wife gets home, she says, they're giving us cancer. Because they've never, ever given us anything before. So,
Giving us cancer. All right. So, Ed, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Out of the corner of my eye, Victor's camera keeps like a weird kind of glitch every so often. Are you seeing that too?
Yeah.
I
I
was
see
about
that.
to ask him if he saw it.
Yeah. I'm starting to think if he's real, or if this is some kind of.
That's right. It's AI Victor.
If Victor's turned into a bot.
Yeah. The world couldn't handle two of me.
Yeah. One way to find out.
Yeah, that's something that I need to. Every time I sit down here, I remember, because I have a switch with two cameras. Actually, I have two different cameras set up. The thing is, I bought the second camera because I thought that when I was doing Trivia Tuesday that I was going to have like different cutscenes. You know, I was going to cut to seeing the posters on the other wall and stuff like that. And then I never ended up doing it. And I think that this switch, the data probably gets backed up from the camera feed and it bottoms out and then it catches back up again. So I've been contemplating just connecting it without the switch directly to the computer to see if that alleviates it or not. But as usual, I'm like, all right, I'll do that the next time. All right, I'll do that the next time. And next time never comes. So
no, it's not like it's a big deal. It's just it's just kind of funny how all of a sudden it's like, whoa, what was that?
Yeah. It's
very quick. I mean, it's much better that than the audio glitching. You know, that to me is a tough listen if somebody's audio is really glitching.
Yeah, that's
Ed's looking good though, man. Look at his setup. He looks like he's in a swinging place there. It's like, is that a loudspeaker to your left there, Ed?
I've got on both sides of the room. I have speakers.
Okay, I can see. Yeah, the other one's kind of blocked by a pillow or something.
Yeah, it goes
the
by
woofer.
stereo.
So,
and over here I've got a bunch of stereo equipment that you can't see. It's all in the dark there. With guitars.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, and those speakers are sitting on top of a nice floor model set of Bose speakers. They're really big ones. I need to get one of them repaired though, because it makes some distortion. But I'm hoping to do that someday. And then in the garage, I have some Sherwin-Vega speakers. The ones that you see are just Fisher, which is not anything special.
Yeah. The Sears.
But I need to get the cones repaired in these Sherwin-Vegas. Then I'll replace these Fishers with those.
I've got a set of Sherwin-Vegas in my garage that I haven't hooked up since I've moved here. And then I've got some big ones that a guy gave me at 15-inch woofers that are at Nathan's place. I love Sherwin-Vega. Good. I don't know. We all kind of like different sound. Like I've never been a Bose guy.
What was that?
I've
never been like a guy who's.
Go ahead.
You got a delay there.
All right. Anyway, I feel like what I enjoy in listening to music, as far as how the sound is presented, I like it to be more live sounding, and Sherwin-Vega kind of does that for me. Their speakers, it makes it not as soft and polished, and Bose always feels that way to me. That I'm listening to like the way Grandma would like to hear stuff. Yeah.
Edgar was asking a question there. I've not heard of them before. Have you?
White Trash, yeah.
What?
I knew of that band before I knew of the fact that Edgar Winter and them were in a band called White Trash.
That live album, the White Trash live album, that's the album that taught me to scream when I was a kid, because I would sing along with that, or I'll try to sing along with it. And those guys could really, really let it go, man. And the two songs that Rick Derringer does on there, the two rock songs, are just fantastic. You ever listen to that album, Ed?
No.
Okay. Well, let's see. You don't do. Do you do any? What do you do streaming wise? Anything?
Apple Music.
Okay, I'll send you share a couple of songs with you, but you gotta listen back to back.
Sure.
Yeah, the ones that Rick Derringer does. It's just badass rock and roll. Sounds like it was recorded. I know some of that album was recorded at the Whiskey, and I'm going to go that those songs were, because it kind of has that feel of a really small club.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's just cool stuff. And back then, I the horns. They had a horn section, and as a teenager, I was a real music snob. I felt like that just didn't belong in rock. It's like you don't need horns. Your guys at horns are wrecking it. Like having female backup singers, I thought was terrible. I've since changed my tune on all that. If something's good, it's good. But anyway, it's still pretty damn badass rock. So yeah, Edgar, you think he'll ever man up and join the Patreon?
I was trying to think this week. Do you guys think that Edgar is someone who is already on Patreon?
I kind of wonder. Yeah, I wondered, because it always seems like he's
Hoeker.